afternoon, families of native people from the rivers had come all the way to the foothills of a mountain that was known as a Superstition. Walking around, they picked all of the fruit from all the trees and the cacti, and they began to get ready to make their journey back to their villages along the rivers. But before they went on their way, they decided to have a meal, and under the shade of a palo verde, they settled, and the family started eating. As they sat there, they heard rumbling, getting louder and louder. They looked around, and there was not a cloud to be seen above. So they asked one of the little boys to run up to one of the higher hills and to look around to see if he could see what was making the rumbling sound. As they looked at the little boy jumping up and down, yelling something, he was pointing to the north. They told him to come back down, and he came running down and gasping for air. He said, "There's floodwaters, a big wall of water coming this way, carrying trees and cactus and animals and even snakes." He said, "It's coming this way fast." He said, "It's so high, it's going to cover all of the hills. We have to run to the mountain." But the adults looked, and the mountain was too far away. So they fell to their knees and asked the Creator for help. Just as they were praying, they heard beautiful flute music coming from behind somewhere. As they turned to listen to see where the flute music was coming from, Coyote, with his pointy ears and bushy tail, came playing his flute, walking out from behind a boulder. And they said, "Coyote, aren't you afraid? We're going to drown soon. There's a big flood of water coming this way. A big wall of water's rolling this way. It's going to drown all of us." And that coyote put his flute down a bit and said, "I know. I saw the floodwaters coming, and I fell to my knees, and I asked the Creator to help me, to save me. And He told me to come this way, to play my flute, to find you with your children and your elders. That if I'm to be saved, first I must save you." He says, "Come, gather around me, hurry. We don't have much time. The Creator told me what to do." And so they all stood next to him. And he laid down his flute on the ground, and he sprinkled with sacred pollen, and he asked the Creator for help now that he's found the children, the elders, the adults, to do what he was promised. And so, as soon as he said that, the flute started getting longer and longer and longer and even longer, and the inside of the flute started getting larger and larger until a full-grown man could run inside. "Come follow me," he said. Coyote led all the people inside the huge flute. He said, "Everyone, take your bag of beans and all the fruit that you have in your bags. Stuff both ends, please hurry." And as soon as both ends of the flute were stuffed with the beans and the fruit from the gathering, the floodwaters came rushing, and it lifted up the flute. And all the people stuck their heads out of the finger holes and saw that one by one, all of the saguaros and all of the hills were getting covered. Floodwaters were rising quickly, but they were safe within that flute. And the flute became a canoe, riding it up and down all the way until they could see that the floodwaters were almost covering even almost all of the mountain called the Superstition, which is to the east of us. They say that the floodwaters finally stopped towards the very upper part, where the flute became lodged on a ridge. And there, the people waited a little bit longer to see that the floodwaters indeed had stopped rising. Finally, they unplugged the end, and they came out and went to the highest part of the mountain. There they saw everything being covered. Coyote said, "I need my flute back to calm myself down. Is everyone out of the flute?" And as he went down there, he saw a man pulling on a rope. He said, "Come, you need to come out now." And Coyote thought, what is that man pulling at? As he looked inside the flute, the man was pulling on a rope, and on the other end of the rope, was his pet turkey that he always took with him. The turkey didn't want to leave the flute. He had his legs stretched out and his wings stretched out, wedging himself inside. And the man kept pulling and pulling. And the coyote says, "Turkey, come out. I want to play my flute. I want to make it small again. Come, we're done now. We're safe. Come out." He said, "No," he said, "I don't want to come out," he said. Just as he was talking to the coyote, the owner, the man, pulled on that rope with all of his might, and he pulled really hard. Just then the turkey tilted his head forward, and the rope slipped over his head from his neck all the way up, and it scraped all of the feathers off of the turkey's neck. That's why to this day, turkey almost has no feathers on his head. And that rope left the most reddish rope burn. You can still see the rope burn to this very day. That man got really mad, and he lunged for the turkey's neck, but the turkey leaned back just in time when the man only grabbed a handful of skin from here, and it was tug of war, until finally the man lost his grip. And then when he looked back at the turkey staring down at him, there was a long red loose skin coming down. Turkey still has that loose skin to this day. Finally, the men rushed in and they grabbed that turkey. They took him out, but just at the last moment, Turkey jumped on top of that flute and he started running on top. His owner right behind him. He almost fell in the water until his wings saved him. But then his tail feathers dipped into the top of the floodwaters, into the foam. And to this day, when you look at the tail feathers of a turkey, you can still see that creamy white line. That's where his feathers dipped into that foam in the floodwaters long ago. Turkey finally was taken up to the upper part with his owner. The flute was made small again, and Coyote was able to play his flute for all the children and the elders to calm down, watching the floodwaters slowly recede. For weeks and weeks, they lived off of what they had gathered until the floodwaters went all the way down. Finally, Coyote said, "I will see you another day, but now I must go and see what is left of my home." And he went walking into one of the many canyons in the mountain that is called the Superstition. They say sometimes in the evenings, if you listen very carefully, if the wind blows just right, you can still hear the flute music of Coyote playing somewhere in the many canyons. But as the people went walking this way back to the river villages to the west, they turned around and looked at the mountain called the Superstition. And towards the very upper part, they noticed that there was now a white line that ran across the length of that mountain. The Creator had left that white mark there, the foam from the floodwaters long ago, that marks where the high water stopped, showing that there was indeed floodwaters that came rolling through here long ago. Thank you very much.